Yours truly, Jason Gaddis, coming at you from Boulder, Colorado. I am so committed to figuring this relationship shit out that I have yelled at you, talked at you, shared with you, hopefully a lot of insights over the years about how to do relationships better. And I've learned a ton myself. But mostly I'm grateful to be here, and it's just amazing that I get this microphone to share our message here and to try to help you. So thanks for being a listener, subscriber, a fan, a follower, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Whew. All right. In this episode, I am going to share a very short 5-ish minute video of some of our students here at the Relationship School. So you want to listen to this. And these folks went through our coaching training program. And I want to quiz you up front and see if you can pull the common theme from them that you hear. All right, there's a common theme that you're going to hear in their message of their experience. And this is specifically about our coaching program, which is what this episode is about. I'm going to keep it brief. And I just want to share with you that, in brief here, we're living in a time, I think, unprecedented times. Challenges left and right. There's massive divisions here in the United States. We're at war with each other, it seems, politically. We have issues that appear to be very divisive. And there's the left and the right, and there's the right and the wrong, there's good and bad, there's just polar opposites. We are very polarized right now. And this is a big picture of what happens in a home, in a marriage, where two people think they started out great and things are going well, and over many years they polarize and they become very different, or so it seems. And they can't seem to find middle ground, and they can't seem to listen to each other. And they sort of turn their marriage into a war of sorts, or they turn it into me versus you, right versus wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And it's really painful to watch and to sit with couples who are in this position. And imagine living in that home every day. It's kind of brutal. Which again is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want kids to grow up in families that whether they stay together or not is not the point. It's that they are respectful, they listen to each other until each other feels understood, they can work through their differences, they can work through conflict, and they're modeling how to be a human being in this world. And it's just tough to watch people not dealing with these. That's not you though, right? You're actually dealing with your relational problems, hopefully. Okay, well, we have a significant program here that I created many years ago to help you as a helper or as a healer become more effective in trying to help someone with their relationships. And that's called our Relationship Coach Training Program. And I think it's really obvious to say the world needs you. The world needs more helpers, particularly relational leaders who are willing to help their communities, their towns, work through differences. And I just think it's so clear that that's a massive problem. There's many problems in this world. But this is the problem I choose to fight, the battle I choose to fight, the hill I choose to die on is relationship, because it's such a central pillar to our well-being, our mental health, and how we feel in our own home, how we feel in our own skin, how we feel in our own body. How you raise a child is everything. And that child can either grow up secure or insecure, basically. There's two kind of paths. Insecure is a child who just goes along with the parental units and adheres and conforms to their program, subordinates and doesn't really have any choice, and abandons themselves because it's too scary and threatening to be themselves. That's one path, right? The other path, of course, is the rebellious child who is an absolute no to the parents' way, and they continue to push back and rebel and say, fuck this, I'm not into this. Those are the smart kids, I think. Either way, there's injuries along the way. You've experienced them as a child, you grew up with parents, caregivers who had some issues, probably like me, and you got hurt along the way. And I guarantee you it's impacted some area of your life outside of relationships, be it money, health, mental health, physical health, right? It's impacted some area. So if we can attack the relationship challenges that we have as a species, and starting with us in the mirror and starting at home, I think we're going to build a better world. And years ago, I wanted to train many people because I felt like I couldn't do it alone. And I have trained over almost 150 coaches at this point to help with my mission. And they each have their own why that's very personal to them, why they're doing this, why they're out there in the streets helping people with their relationships. Yeah. So our coaching program, I'd like to invite you to be a part of it if you are highly motivated, if you are completely committed to getting what you want in a relationship, if you're willing to invest time, money, and energy, and if you're willing to play in our sandbox with an amazing group of humans who also want to change their lives and change the lives of others. Our coaching program has 3 parts: self, other, and coaching. Self-other is if you can get, as a coach and as a human, if you can figure out the self-other thing, dance, the game, man, you are a very empowered human, because people are what make this world go around and what create catastrophes and tragedies. They're also what create victories and triumphs and inspirational experiences. Human beings, watching human beings just do their thing. So if you want to be on the front lines helping people with that, then you deal with yourself. That's why we start with the self. You've got to face your shit, all right? And I'm committed to that for the rest of my life because I have some shit. And then I learn how to deal with other people, my wife, my kids, my friends, you, people who hate me, people who like me. I'm dealing with people, right, all day long. And learning how to get better. I always want to become a better listener. Very committed to that. My wife and I were just in a snag this morning. And there's a part of me that just wants to go into my default setting of making her wrong or something. But the bigger part of me takes over and is like, no, I'm going to listen and I'm going to make sure I validate and understand her. And then I'm going to apply myself and hopefully behave differently, right? Yeah. So self, other, and then coaching skills. You actually need, a lot of you helpers are out there enabling people, rescuing people, and honestly not helping people, even though the claim is you are. So I want to challenge you to upgrade that. And a lot of you are therapists, and if you're a therapist doing talk therapy and you're slightly bored, you're checking out during sessions, your clients actually aren't changing, then I want to encourage you to come join our program also. We have more and more therapists coming into our coaching training, which is awesome. Because guess what? You can work across state lines. That's big. You can charge more money. That's big. And you can learn a model, present-centered relationship coaching, that will help your clients get results. And then you will fire them if they want to stay stuck in their victim position and don't want to change. You can move on, and I teach you how to do that. Yeah. So guys, let's get people empowered, right? Let's get people taking responsibility for their lives and taking action to get the results they want in their interpersonal relationships, in their marriages, in their homes, at work, okay? So there's so much I could say on and on here, but I won't bore you with all of the details. I think what's more important is that you apply and because it's kind of the last call till next year. We run this training once a year now in September, just the school year. Mid to late September, all the way to May, okay, when you graduate as a certified relationship coach, if you do the work, okay? Yeah. And why should you join this training over any other training? Well, I don't think there's anything like this training, honestly, in the world. We share your video of you coaching a client, and we give you feedback in front of the class, which I don't think any other program does. It's 9 months. It's not 6 weeks to become a coach. It's 9 months. So it's a significant commitment for you to learn about yourself and learn about humans, and then learn how to help someone effectively. The coaching model we use is called present-centered relationship coaching, and that I developed over many years of teaching this course and working with people in the trenches every day for the last 20 or so years. present-centered relationship coaching. And I think it's the most effective, beautiful coaching model method out there because I poured my heart and soul into this, and it seems to be our clients and coaches get results, and it's really inspiring to see. And yes, of course, there's a lot of amazing, insanely good programs out there, particularly like therapy programs like somatic experiencing or internal family systems that are proven to get results. So that's what I'm after here, is getting the client a result. Many of our coaches, of course, graduate and become coaches out in the world helping people, and you have probably hired one of them. And I encourage you to do that, to test them out. A lot of them are brand new. They've never coached before. And many of them are therapists who've been seeing clients for 15, 20 years. So we have a huge range of experience, and we have individual relationship coaches and couples coaches. The couples training is something my wife and I teach also once a year, every other year right now. And that is a very specific skill set that is different than working with individuals. If you ever meet a relationship coach who's working with couples who hasn't done any couples training, I would move in the other direction personally. Ellen and I have worked very hard to create a couples training, so that you actually can't do until the second year. So these are two separate trainings. We always start people working with individuals. You work with individuals on their relationship challenges. Yes. And then a much more advanced skill set is to work with couples. All right. I think that's probably enough for now. Let me play this video, and let's end with that. I'll make a couple comments afterwards, because remember, I'm quizzing you. Listen for the common theme.
I was in the midst of what was maybe the worst breakup that I've had as an adult. I was just at my wit's end with my relationship patterns.
Before I started this journey, I was in a lot of pain.
I remember turning 40 and being like, I'm an accountant. What the hell am I doing with my life? And making that promise to switch careers, as crazy as everyone in my life thought I was, and to shift to the thing that was like soul work versus brain work.
How do we work with anyone who is feeling like a victim of anything? What can you do to feel empowered in your life? What can you do to get a foothold of power, empowering the individual through relationship? Raise your hand if you grew a little bit.
I was really struggling in all my relationships. I really believed in blaming everyone and never took any responsibility. I had to really look deep and hard at myself, and I found that I was the common denominator. I was the one who had to do the work.
That is growth. I would have just high-fived the hell out of her on that.
I've always had a really broken relationship with my mom. I knew in my head that she did the best she could. I knew her story. I knew everything she went through. I just could feel the shift in my entire body. Like, I will never forget that moment. And my relationship with my mom now is completely different. Like, I feel so much compassion for her, and I'm so thankful for everything she's done for me. It changed my life.
I used to be a people pleaser and living through the values of other people, and I always worry about people judging me. But as I begin to just live authentically, I've become so much more grounded. I'm able to just be myself and really follow that passion and that light.
Okay, this training has 3 parts. Self. You are going to work on yourself, and you're going to look in the mirror, self-reflect, which is one of the hallmarks of a secure relationship. You're also going to learn how to work with other people. Other humans are difficult. You're difficult. How do you do this self-other dance, especially in a high-stake relationship? And then finally, you are going to learn how to serve and give back and help people. And that's coaching. You're going to learn how to coach people around the self-other dynamic.
Just stepping back and really listening to someone else. Like, what a concept. Like, I'm 54 years old and I'm just learning that now. With my kids as well, they see me modeling it. And I see them doing it too. And I just relate to them in a very different way. It's been huge.
This class has empowered me in all of my relationships, especially with my kids. And that's definitely the most valuable to me.
The work I've been doing allows me to show up for my son in such a more flexible and compassionate way.
My marriage has gotten so much more solid and real I mean, the biggest thing for me was changing my life from victim to author to become my true self.
It is a tremendous amount of work to do insight and to really dig into yourself, but it's worth it.
It was really fun, and my heart feels really full.
I'm just blown away by the material and what Jason and Ellen have put together. It's just profound, and I'm eternally grateful.
I just wanted to say thank you. And my daughter is 8. She says thank you too, although she doesn't know it yet, but it's just really helped so much. So big gratitude.
I knew I wanted to help. I just didn't realize how to do it. Through this school and through all the practice hours that we've had, we can do this. We can actually do this. We can actually go out in the world, and we do have something to offer.
What's up, RCT student? You have made a massive commitment to grow as a human being and to help other people grow.
I am honored and humbled to serve as a coach.
This is what I want to do, and there's nothing else I'd rather do. And to be here just feels amazing.
I feel like a new person.
Wow, I feel so grateful.
This work is so impactful and so helpful.
It was a really great growing experience.
It's really helped me to just be like, oh yeah, they've got this.
Here's badass mofos doing the work. I'm so grateful to everybody here.
Be authentic and rock it.
Just do it. It's an investment in yourself. You won't regret it. Just make it happen.
According to the longest study of human behavior ever done at Harvard, the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your relationships.
This course changed my life, and I would recommend it to anyone.
All right. That was our students. Many of them, if you watch this on YouTube, you'll actually see them and learn about where they're from, all the way from Singapore. Got coaches in Europe, South Africa, the US, Canada, South America, kind of far and wide these days. Anywho, would love to see you in there. And what was the theme that you picked up? The theme, in my opinion, was personal transformation. These people went on a ride and they changed fundamentally, became more authentically who they are. And very few of them spoke to, oh, and relationship coaching is so awesome. I learned how to coach people. It was like more like, holy shit, my life changed. So if you want that kind of result, and of course, you want to learn how to work with people and get paid well doing it, you should come check out our coaching program, RCT. Okay. And here's what you do next. Go to relationshipschool.com/RCT. That's an info page. You can rewatch that video if you want. You can learn more about it. There's lots of frequently asked questions there. The syllabus is on there. There's tons of info, okay? And then you can apply. But we're down to the wire here. We start mid-September. So you want to get your application in ASAP. We interview everybody that comes into the program. We want to make sure we're a good fit for you, you're a good fit for us, and that you're in a good place mentally to take on this immense course. All right? It is a rite of passage for sure. So relationshipschool.com/RCT. See you there, folks.